Hello and welcome to Perfectly Twisted. I'm Nicole Eggert and I am joined with my lovely friend Dave Palais.
Well, it's been a good week for me already, right? I mean, I've bored you to tears with this Dodger stuff and how nervous I was. We finally crossed the finish line. So, good morning. How you doing? I'm still in a good mood.
I mean, I think everybody is. The turnout at the parade was so it gave me chills. It was amazing.
I love it. I love it always from the kids' eyes. I mean, you and I have seen a lot. We've been lucky to see a lot. I mean, not to make us sound old, but I remember all the way back to being in high school, Nicole, and in the same year getting a chance to see the Lakers and the Dodgers parade. And then in 2020, we had COVID, so the Lakers and Dodgers did it again in the same year, but there was no parade. And the last 2 years, we've had parades in Los Angeles for the Dodgers. And I love to see the videos now because obviously it's so much easier on your phone of these kids. The parents drove all night from outside of California to surprise their kids. It's like in the videos you see, hey, we're going to Disneyland today, to see the kids just out of bed and going, oh my gosh, I'm going to see the Dodgers, and how exciting it is for the kids to go to probably their first ever parade, let alone seeing, their favorite people with all these, 250,000 people. It's pretty neat to see. For me, at least, obviously, as a sports fan, I love it. I love when kids see something for the first time.
Yeah, it was exciting. It's exciting for everybody. You say it's exciting for the kids. I'm not sure. I think it might be more exciting for the parents, but hey.
Yeah. Agree.
I think when parents make their kids happy and they get something out of it, it's a win all around.
I agree. Here's the funny thing about baseball. They always say, if you ask anybody, what is your favorite baseball team? And whatever their favorite team was when they were 11 years old, they say that's the magic number that will stick with you forever. And a friend of mine, her husband was out of town working, and she watched the game with her son. And, you always hear, baseball, father, sons. Well, moms are so involved, which is great. And she sent me a picture watching the game from their bedroom, and just the picture of the mom and the son with the biggest smiles on their faces. And I said, that's a childhood memory your kid will never forget. That's the one you frame. You take that picture and you frame it and you go, you have this bond forever. I remember where I was with my mom when the Dodgers beat Toronto in Game 7. And it was cool. I loved it. I love all this stuff. I can't get enough of it on Instagram.
Yeah, it's fun when moms get involved with their son's sports because, it's very easy to not, it's very easy to drop them off and be like, have a good time. I'll see you at the game. So yes. And, and some women are naturally sports fans and some are not. They become them for their children.
Yeah. Your friend, Alyssa Milano, is a huge Dodger fan.
Yes.
Have you? I mean, she's been going to games before they were winning championships when they went through a long drought. But she posted years and years and years. Did you catch it at all? And I was thinking Nicole was probably friends with her even from this little age, and then has grown up as a baseball fan. But it's been a lot of fun for me, and I know for the city. Nicole's in Los Angeles as we do the show. I'm in San Diego, and I imagine electricity, how many Dodger hats you see around town, and shirts,
oh my God,
everywhere.
We went by the Galleria, the Glendale Galleria. I had to return something and I forgot that there's a Dodger retail store in that mall. And I got there and I'm like, what is going on this lazy Sunday? Usually Sundays are pretty lazy. And it was so packed, and the parking, everything was a nightmare. And I was like, God, this was a mistake. And then I walked in and I saw the line just around the mall just to go to this Dodger. And then, and then I'm watching the news and I'm like, there's vendors selling t-shirts and stuff at the parade for really cheap.
Yeah.
Granted, it's probably a little bootleg, but
not
what
licensed.
difference does it make? It's still a t-shirt and it still says the same thing on it. I mean, I'm one of those people. If you can get it for cheaper and that's your price point, do it. But yeah, the store was jam-packed. And when we left the mall, because that was the entrance we went in and out of, that line, it was still just as long. So people were buying the gear. Yeah. And every retail store that didn't have Dodger gear still had all their mannequins, their windows,
yes,
dressed in the Dodger blue.
Oh, I love it. I
Yeah.
love it.
So any merchandise, like any clothing they had in their store, they put it on their mannequin. So everything was blue. So
Oh, that's
it was,
cool.
yeah, it was really neat to see. Yeah, everybody was celebrating. So it was fantastic.
Yeah, it's the one thing that when a team wins in that city, how even though here we are through the holidays coming up, and you see a lot of people are stressing out.
Yeah.
Financially, you're seeing a lot of people worrying about a lot of things. How it is completely a break, or whatever your difference of opinion in politics are, that sometimes they have that one thing in common. As much as I hate that guy over there and think he's the dumbest guy on the planet, we both love the Dodgers. It's kind of a weird thing that sports can do, that
Yes.
even with your enemy or people you don't respect, it's funny to me how sports does that, and that's what it's supposed to meant to be. It's entertainment. I mean, just like you as an actor, it's entertainment, and it's to take your mind off of maybe what's hard, what you
Yeah.
do for other people. And so, speaking of what you do, you had to me, something happened to you that I thought was really cool. Maybe it's because I know you much better than I did years ago, but the fact that you're involved with People Magazine, which was always the one that I go to the airport, that's the one I get, that's the one you walk into a doctor's office, that's the one you grab. And so to me, People Magazine is still People Magazine, and I'm one of those guys that doesn't get the newspaper delivered or a bunch of magazines sent to my house, but I love People Magazine, always have. Can you explain you being involved with People Magazine?
Well, it's interesting because I had done a piece with them years ago, and I was supposed to get the cover, and I ended up not getting the full cover. I got the smaller picture on the cover, but it's still the cover of People, and it was still exciting, and they still featured me inside, and it was fantastic. And I also am a fan of People Magazine. I think it's an all around good news, not news, but it's a good outlet
Yeah.
because it really, they do more fact checking than a lot of these magazines. So the journalism is there, but it's such a good mix of like a little gossip, a little pop culture, a little serious news. They do it all. So I also like that magazine. But no, they approached me and said, "Would you be on the cover of People Health?" And I said, "Yeah." And it's so funny because People Health is in all my treatment facilities, all my doctor's offices, everything. And I had to go in on Friday for treatment, and they didn't put it out yet.
No way. No way.
So I haven't even seen the inside of the
Oh,
magazine yet. I haven't seen it. I've just seen pictures of the cover that people have sent me from their doctor's office. So but yes, it's an honor, and you know yeah, it's just it's a real honor because I look at that's the one magazine also that's in every
yeah,
treatment
of
facility. So,
course.
it's a big deal, and that's exciting for, the community I'm now a part of. And I think the nurses will get a kick out of it when they do put out the new issues. I was going to ask like where's the latest one,
Yeah.
but I didn't say anything. So maybe next time it will be there. So yeah, it was such an honor, very exciting. And, it's just one of those things that you're like, kind of a pinch me, like, wow, okay. Yeah. It's unexpected.
Yeah.
And, the shoot was great. And everybody was super professional and super on top of their game. Like, just everything ran so smooth. Everybody was in a good mood and like just easy breezy, top of the line. First class all the way. So, yeah, exciting.
A couple things is I would love to see the whoever gets the magazine delivered, gets the mail for your doctor's office and has to do the double check. You know, wait a second, she's in here. She's one of ours. I'd like to see that expression.
Yeah.
Um, Two is I'd like to see the expression of other people when they walk in and realize you're sitting 2 seats down and that magazine's right in front of their face on the table. I think that would be kind of wild too to see. Wait a second, do the double check. Wait, I think that person's that person.
Yeah.
Um, that's that. All that stuff is neat to me. Is so when they contact you, and obviously, I love the fact you're able to share your story over and over again. When they contact you and you go through the shoot and you tell your story to them, how many people work on that story? Is it one person? Is it multiple people that put that story together?
There's a few factors. So there's the journalist who writes the article for the magazine, and for the online, where, it's part of the article. I spoke with her. She's New York based. We did it over the phone. Then when you get on set, you do the photo shoot, and then there's a videography crew. So then they re-interview you so that they have video. And so it's different teams.
Okay.
And then it all comes together and they put a bow on it, and they've got clients and they're fantastic at it.
That is really cool. Really cool. I don't know. I love it.
Yeah.
That's neat. So,
Thank you. Yeah, I really had a good time. It's something I can be really proud of.
yeah, absolutely. And again, we always talk about your relationship with your daughter, something they can be proud of too. My mom's doing good.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Golly, that's neat. That's neat.
I know
So
it's funny. It's this interesting balance because you talk about it a lot, right? I feel like, I've told the world my story, but the truth is, so many people still don't know.
Yeah.
And it's amazing how many times you need to retell your story, and you have to keep telling your story, because as soon as you think like, I've worn this out and like people are probably sick of hearing this, you realize so many people haven't heard it, and so many people are just getting their diagnosis, or or some people are just deciding to go get tested and screened. It's just wild to me, because I always feel like, okay, all right, Nicole, like everybody knows, be quiet. Shut up now. But it's really not. Like, you can never tell the story enough, honestly.
No, and that's the way I think it's going to be. I mean, the sad part is, Nicole, someone today is going to get the diagnosis you got a few years ago.
Dave, every 15 seconds,
Yeah, that's
somebody
what I'm
gets a
saying.
diagnosis.
That's why you're never going to feel like I've told the story where everybody knows. It's not how it goes, because people that maybe weren't interested in your story, didn't want to think about bad news, who might have stayed away from your story, all of a sudden, I need as many answers and as many outlets as I can possibly get to get as much information. And how did these people deal with it? And it's, I don't want to say this has become your new identity, but it's part of your identity.
It is. And you always see these commercials, and it's like, no one wants to be known for cancer. And you're like, yeah, and I have this like weird relationship with that, because it's like, well, I kind of am part of that. So it's part of my story. It's not who I am, but it is definitely a big part of my story right now. And the other thing is, it's like, I do think about like, do I come across as like damaged goods to anybody that I would meet to get in with going forward? Like, oh, well, I don't really want to get too close to her because she might die. You know what I mean? Or like, I don't want to get too close to that person because they could get sick again. They've got all these problems. So it's weird, because I don't want that kind of pity. Or I don't want that kind of scarlet letter either. Like, I don't want people to go, ew, oh my gosh, damaged goods, or, oh, and handle me with like kitty gloves. And I just want to be, heard and listened to, and, taken at face value, and, whatever. Maybe I invoke some thought, and, but so it's weird. It's weird because you think like, what am I projecting? And, what am I going to get in return? So and I don't put too much thought into it, because it's out of my control. Obviously, people will take me as they take me, but it is a thought sometimes. You're like, God, is any guy ever going to want to date me? Or are they going to be like, nope, she could die on me?
You know what? Anyone can die on anybody. I mean,
This is true. And this is true, right? So that's what got me through the entire journey, and that's what gets me through it now. Because could it come back? Could it come back? Well, sure, it can come back. Also, if I didn't already have it, I could still get it. I could still get something else, right? Like, so none of us are in the clear. None of us are going to be okay. We're all dying here.
Yeah, you're right. No, I mean, unfortunately, that's that. I'll say this, when before, obviously you even, came on your own show and turned your microphone on and told your story, you told me what was happening, right before. And, I never once, and even off there, I've never heard Nicole ever say "poor me." You've never done the "poor me" card. You've always done like the fighter card, which really impressive to watch. And when you sit there and you talk about people are hearing your story today, maybe for the first time, or get People Magazine and say, "I didn't know," and read your story for the first time. it becomes, I hope, an inspiration to people who, you get devastating news. I mean, it is. I don't care who you are. Devastating news when you hear the word cancer, and everyone knows, here's a possible outcome, and is life going to be cut short, and how do you approach it? That's why I think it's important you keep telling as much as you can, and tell it almost like the first time every time you say it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's never poor me. It definitely was poor my kids.
Yeah.
My poor kids. And then it was, okay, what did I do to get here? And not in a self-blaming way, but in a way of like, okay, we've got to change everything. That's the first step, right?
Yep.
Alongside with treatment was changing everything. So, I don't know. I'm just kind of one of those people who I always want to know what part I played in it. I always know there's two truths, two sides and one truth. There's never like, I always know that like the way I perceive everything is not always exact, and same with the other side. Like if you're in an argument with someone, somehow each person is to blame. And
Yeah.
I always know that to be true. So I always kind of take that stance instead of feeling sorry for myself, because I don't think that's not going to get you anywhere.
No,
That's
it's
not going to.
yeah. I think the asking the question why, is normal. Why on anything, car accident, why did this happen? Or, if I would have left the house 5 minutes early, whatever, simple things people break down. Sometimes people make big deals out of things that you realize in life aren't a big deal, but your situation was a big deal. It was. So, I got to ask you, as you get ready for, as we do the show at the beginning of November, as you get ready for the end of the year and the holidays and everything, are you excited about this time of year?
Funny you should ask. I was texting with my daughter yesterday going, who the fuck am I? I went. Okay, first of all, let me just say I haven't even taken my Halloween decorations down yet. Okay. I went.
Are those bats behind your head on the wall?
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
sir. I I went to Petco to buy Nancy, my cat, some cat litter, and they're putting out the Christmas stuff.
Yeah.
And I looked at it and I was like, you know what? I might as well get it now while I'm standing here so I don't have to come back and then it all be gone. So I bought my first Christmas gifts yesterday, and it was for my cat and my daughter's cats. So So I check out and I've got a bag of Christmas shit for cats. And then I go, you know what? I'm going to go to the Dollar Tree, because I've tried to go to the Dollar Tree in the past, but it's all picked through and it's broken and it's crap and all that. And I was like, I wonder what the Dollar Tree looks like this early in the season, because they must just be putting out the stuff. I was like, I'm gonna go check that out. I was one of those people. I was getting first picks on everything, and they had way better stuff. And I thought, this is why people do this. And I'm in line, and the lady behind me goes, "You're buying Christmas stuff already?" And I was like, "Don't judge.
Yeah.
Don't judge. This is the first time I've ever done this. Is my first time, and I don't know who I am, and I really don't need any of this." But at the end of the day, and I didn't buy that much, but I bought a couple things that I was like, okay, this is worth, $1. This is worth $5. And yes, so I bought Christmas stuff yesterday, and I was like, and I was like, do I just hang it up now, or do I go put it in storage? So there's that dilemma.
Oh, that's funny.
But I'm like, do I take the Halloween one down and put the Christmas one up? And I was like, not really. Like, that's a little too soon. So I'm kind of stuck. I have to put Halloween stuff away and Christmas stuff away, only to turn around and pull the Christmas stuff back out.
So my rule was always not, and it's not a strict rule, but I always thought you put the Christmas stuff up after Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Now, the more and more people I know lately, it seems like it's a race. Like I know people have Christmas stuff up as Halloween stuff was up at the same time. I can look across the street at my neighbors. I go, I swear to God, there's a Christmas tree up right now.
Well, I saw a lot of people doing. Have you seen like the cross where it's Halloween
no, I haven't seen that.
skeletons dressed as Santa Claus and things like that? So it's a crossover. So you just decorate once.
No, I haven't seen.
Kind of nightmare, a Nightmare Before Christmas vibes. I was like, that's smart. And to your point of people are doing it earlier, do you think it's because, and this is how I'm going to justify it, it's so much work.
Yeah.
To put it up and take it down. So the sooner you get it up, then you get a bigger break in between before you have to take it all down, and you get a chance to get sick of it and to take
That
it down, like you're ready and you're like, okay, I've seen enough, I need my house back, let's take it down.
Yeah, that's funny you say that. Is okay, so the way we always do it in our house is Thanksgiving's on a Thursday. By Friday or Saturday, the tree and everything's up. Okay, and every time that tree goes up, I go, oh my God. I go, this house looks so much better with this tree in it. It feels like those, those nice hotels you walk in and you see the big, beautiful tree and everything. You're like, I never want to take this tree down. The house looks so much better with this tree up. And then come after Christmas, I'm like, I want this tree down so fast. I can't, I am sick of it. I 100% am sick of it. And then when everything goes away, I'm like, I didn't realize how much room was we had in here, how much space we had in this room. And I just want to vacuum all these goddamn pine needles up off the carpet. And I never want to see this stuff again. But it's the same thing every year. Like I fall for it every year. Every time it goes up, I'm like, our house looks so much better. And then by the time I take it down, I'm like, I'm never putting another Christmas tree up again. And then here I am. But I'll tell you what, I'm very lucky on this. I never have to do anything. I have either a sister-in-law, if she comes to town for Thanksgiving, she'll do it all. She'll tell them, don't touch the thing, I got it. Or now I have a niece that loves to just come over and decorate Christmas trees. And she goes to like house to house to house and does it for nothing. And then it looks incredible. So I don't ever have to do a thing. It's like I paid somebody, a professional, to decorate my house. It looks great. I don't have to go through the hassle, Nicole.
How old is this niece of yours?
She's in her 30s.
Oh,
And loves doing it. Just loves
so
decorating Christmas. It's her
she's
thing.
got the knack.
Yeah, she loves it. And I'm like, what do you need? I'll pay for your kids to go to college. Just do it again, please. And she's, no, everything's good. And it is so nice, but it does look good. But I talked to someone the other day. No joke. Nicole said that Christmas tree goes up October 1st.
Oh,
October.
no.
You go, yeah. As soon as we hit fall, that Christmas tree goes up. I'm like, that seems crazy. Now, here's the other thing. Do you look at people different if they keep the Christmas tree up too long? Like, let's say it's January 20th and you walk into someone's house and that Christmas tree's up. What are you thinking about that person?
Yeah. Yes. And okay, more than the tree, because the tree is hard and all of that, and it is like a lot. So it's daunting. More than that, it's the people who leave like simple things up outside the house, like a wreath on the door, or like let's say like candy canes on the wall. I mean, how easy is it to get out of your car and just rip those out as you walk into the house?
Yes.
Right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Those are the people that get me, with the little decorations out front that sit there. And I'm like, God, that is the height of laziness.
Yeah.
That's beyond. Because the tree, listen, I don't, I think you should take it down. And it's a hazard. It's dangerous, all of these things. But I get it because it's like a huge.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. The one thing I'm burnt out on is the blow up deals, whatever it is. And the reason I say that is when my dog is afraid of every single one of them. And if we're walking down the sidewalk, she never sees them coming. And then all of a sudden there's a giant blow up. It could be anything. It could be a snowman. It could be something from Halloween. And she drags me into the street in a dead sprint every time. And it is hard to walk the dog with these blow up things in front of everybody's house. It's throwing me off.
That's
not
funny.
fun. It's a lot of work, but
I feel like the blow up things are very little kid. It's very little kid oriented, right?
Yeah, I've seen some crazy stuff. My neighbor has one outside that I swear to you is at least 20 feet high. It's taller than the house.
Yeah, that's wild. No.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw some on Halloween that were really neat. Like these one people decorated their whole house as an octopus.
Yeah.
So it had blow up like tentacles coming out of it and these big blow up eyes on top. And it was a big house. Super cool, super creative. Love stuff like that. But just all the like Snoopy characters. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Would you ever buy a house if they told you, look, here's the deal. This house is for sale. You love the house. You're looking at it, let's say in March. And then they let you know, just so you know, this is one of these candy cane lane neighborhoods, meaning that you have to go all out because the whole neighborhood does, and people do the parade. Would you be in to know, hey, Christmas time, you're going to have to put a good week in to decorate your house? Would you do it, or would that be a deal breaker?
I probably would do it.
Really?
I'm a sucker for that stuff. Especially in my younger years, like I really used to get up on the roof and like do all the lights, and like Halloween, I would put giant spiders up there, and like I really did a lot
You
when I was
did?
younger. Yes, so I do
Wow.
enjoy it. Yes, I
Okay.
used to do the whole house haunted, smoke machine, sound effects,
Ooh.
spider webs coming out. You felt like you were walking through spider webs, like just fun. Yes, very much. I used to take all the furniture out of my living room because I had a big, huge, in one of my homes, I had a really big front window, that you
Yeah.
could see into it. Make it like the haunted mansion and hang skeletons with costumes on and flashing lights and black lights. Oh, I would go nuts. Absolutely nuts. These days I'm a little bit more simple because first of all, I don't have that big huge house to decorate, and second, I'm a little tired. But but yes.
Oh my gosh,
Let
that's
me
funny.
ask you a question, because I
Yeah.
know you travel a lot, and it would be it would be easy to say, well, you're a man, so you pack less. But you're a large man, so
Yes.
your clothes are very big and your shoes are giant.
Yes.
Um, I had to travel, as you know, I was going back east recently, and I was like, I want to get a carry-on. I'm so sick of paying for the checked bag.
I
It's
mean, you're
ridiculous.
gonna do carry on only? I mean, you're just gonna be that
Yeah.
person that, ooh, okay, this is a gamble. Go ahead.
So, well, I don't care if they check it because they check it for
Okay.
free.
Yeah.
I'm saying this from my
Okay.
standpoint. $80 to check my bag. And
Wow.
I had my eye on this certain carry-on that I wanted. It was like $400. And I was like, that's outrageous. Then I
Yes.
come to find out that that's a bag, that's a suitcase that's manufactured probably in China or something like that, and different people retail it. So then I found a retailer that had it for 160, and I was like, okay, that's a little bit more reasonable. And then I saw underneath that they refurbished ones, like ones that had been returned, that
Yeah.
had never been used. It just might come in a different box. So for $100, I was like, okay, I'm getting my $400 suitcase for $100 because it's got
Yep.
all the bells and whistles. It's got like hooks for your extra bags. It's got a phone holder. It's got the charger for your lap. It's got a laptop compartment. It's just got all of the things, and it's
Okay.
cool looking. So I'm like, okay, great. It's like end of September. I order it. It's coming in a few weeks. It never comes.
Oh,
It never arrives. So I have to check my bag. And I'm is $80. I'm like, this was the $80. I'm almost there on the suitcase again. So I'm pissed. Well, the bag finally arrived. The suitcase finally arrived, and it's great. And then I look inside of it and I'm like, is this a pipe dream? Like, is this really gonna like hold everything? And I'm a light packer. I'm not crazy. I can do a good light packing. But and then I see that people take their carry-on and then they pack out a big backpack. I'm like, okay, this could work. But I'm like, is it a pipe dream? And I talked to some women who were like, it actually is. Other women are like, no, you can make it work. And I'm wondering, are you a carry-on only, or do you
never.
check a bag?
Nope. Nope.
Check.
I'm a check bag guy. I overpack. I know there are stores in those cities. I am completely opposite of most men. Also, most men don't watch every housewife show either, but I am completely opposite. You're right. I'm a big guy. My shirts are double X. My shoes are size 13. I bring more shoes than you need to bring. I just don't want to be left without stuff that I might need. I overpack. Like I'm one of those guys will bring a bathing suit to Nashville in December. I don't know anyone who has a pool in Nashville. But for some reason, there's a bathing suit going in that goddamn bag. You know what I mean? I'm the guy that overpacks. It drives my wife crazy. I look ridiculous. I'm not like the Kardashians or any of these housewives going to Dubai with 8 million bags. I'm not doing that. But it's one suitcase. I check it in and it is stacked. I do bring a backpack, but it usually has my computer in it. Um, and that's it. But as a guy, I've never once thought I would go anywhere and say, I'm just going to chuck it up top. I'd freak out. I'd panic. I think, I think I would panic. I just know there's stuff that I want. And I always overpack. Let's say I go for 5 days. I pack for 7 days. Does that make any sense?
Well, sure. And I mean, you're talking to a female who wears a lot of clothes, but my clothes are small.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wear, I wear a lot of layers. I wear a lot of stuff. I like a lot of options, but I can like lay out outfits and feel like, okay, I got this. I'm much better at it these days than when I was younger. So what I did is I purchased those vacuum bags that come with
Okay.
like the hand
Yeah.
hand
Yeah.
pump, so you
Yeah.
can pack that with you and you can shrink it. Because going back east, I mean, you pack one hoodie and that's it. The suitcase
No
is
kidding.
full, right?
Yeah.
One pair of sweatpants and one hoodie and it's full.
Yes.
So, I think you just have to, I think I'm going to get creative with it. Like you'll wear the hoodie, um, put shoes in a backpack, but I'm going to try it because I was looking around and I'm like, I'm the only one that checked a bag.
Yeah.
Everybody else has carry on
Wow.
and another big bag on top of it.
Yeah.
Because you're allowed a personal item and a carry-on, right? So everybody just oversized that personal item. And yes, they were saying at the gate, anybody, please, we have to check there's too many, bags. The overhead compartment, I can't speak, sorry. The overhead compartments are full. We need to check your carry-ons. I don't care about that part. I just don't want to pay an extra $80 for my bag. Like that's just gotten out of hand with these airlines.
What it
It's
is, and
ridiculous.
I wish they'd just be upfront because, and I said this maybe 2 trips ago. I said, why you do charge so much for? They go, well, we have to make sure we have the right weight amount on the plane. I said, do you? I said, you really don't. I go, you weigh the bags, but you don't weigh the people. And I go, you weigh that lady over there, you weigh that guy over there, and they're like, what? How come you have no idea how much people weigh? You don't. It's a scam. Why don't you just put a sign out? We charge $80 a bag because we can, and that's the honest truth. It has nothing to do with the weight of the plane and the bags and any of that crap. It's 100% just because they can.
Well, here's my question. Well, I know that weight does come into play, but
Technically, I'm right.
technically you're right because they can't fit more than like what's allowed, right? Like it wouldn't.
If they
fit
weighed
anyway.
every person that went on the plane, then I'd say, okay, I kind of understand. There's a number in there they're concerned about.
Yeah, but there's something like because I guess it's more important on private, like little smaller planes. That's more of a thing because it weighs it down. It's
And then they disperse the people. You can see they'll move people around. You over here, you over here. They'll disperse the people on the smaller planes.
Well, here's my other question because it's $40 each way with the bag, right? Why is that just not included in the price?
Yeah, exactly.
Who really is going to notice the $40 when you're purchasing a ticket?
Yeah.
Like, let's just be fair with that. But I guess if you don't check a bag and you're like everybody else making these carry-ons work, then you get $80 off your plane ticket. And that's substantial. So, yeah, I find it wild. So I'm going to be, I looked at it and I was like, do I return it? Do I keep it? I'm going to try a trip with it, but I think that the vacuum seal bags are going to help a lot.
Yeah. Let me know how that one goes. I'm curious because I see the commercials all the time. It's funny. You talk about things that you pay for that you don't realize you pay for. The big one is, there's a city tax depending on what city you go to. Meaning, let's say you go to a hotel. I'll give you an example. You go to a hotel in Anaheim where Disneyland is. I think their TOT tax is 22% to stay in that hotel. You go to New York, you go to, other places in San Diego where I'm at now. This was a big thing that they have not figured out. It's only like 11%. Well, if they would charge more, maybe the city of San Diego could have kept the Chargers here and built them a stadium. You know what I mean? The money goes back, or you pay police officers or whatever it is. But at the same time, other cities do it. No one ever goes into a hotel and saying, hey, I really want to stay at the Hyatt in wherever and Burbank and say, well, what's your hotel tax before I agree to this? No one ever asks what the hotel tax is or city tax is. It's just part of the deal. It's mixed in there. And I've never heard of anybody ever canceling a trip to Hawaii because the tax was too high in the hotel.
But it does hit you when you go to check out.
Does.
When you like see your total, you're like, wait, how did that go from that to that?
100%,
and you're like, oh,
you're right.
Tax.
You're right.
Yeah.
And but people never ask that question when they travel. They just don't know until it hits them in the face when you're going home.
Yeah. No, it's true. I mean, I always know it's there, so I just expect it. And it's like, I know it's going to hit. And some places it hits harder than others. But yeah, it's one of those things where you're like, oh, the price of this hotel room is just not going to be this when I go to check out. Yeah.
You're right. You're right.
True.
Hey, let me get to your mailbag. You're having some mailbag things that are coming in, and I want to make sure we're getting through them.
Okay.
So again, if you want to ask Nicole a question, it's easy. Just go to the website, perfectlytwistedpod.com, and Nicole's mailbag is at the top. We have 5 questions here from Tommy Kromick. Okay. I think I pronounced your name the right way, Tommy. It says, Nicole, which cast member from Baywatch had the dirtiest mouth on set? I'm going to guess Nicole.
Me, yeah. Tommy. Have we met Tommy? Probably me. Yes, I would say undoubtedly. I mean, I was like the person when I first started that show off to the side, like smoking a cigarette,
Love it.
in my chair while everybody else is like working out. Me.
That is hilarious. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, there you go. Oh my gosh, that's funny. Did he ever work with anyone that ever asked you to watch your language?
No.
That's always uncomfortable when you get someone I don't want to say, I'm not goofing on people who are religious, but you get someone who's super religious and they just do not like the swearing.
No, not really.
Oh, okay. There you go. At least you don't feel uncomfortable at work.
I mean, I try to be kind of respectful at work, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? But things slip out and, you do have like side chatter and, it's not like but yeah, no, nobody has ever said anything to me except maybe like, oh, like reminding me that kids, minors are on set
Oh,
or
yeah.
something like that. But for the most part, I try to be aware of that. I always have, but no, luckily, nobody told me. Not that I remember anyways.
Next one for you. It should say, Nicole, what was the first movie to have an impact on you as a child?
Oh, I have to go to the John Hughes. We've talked about this before. 16 Candles was probably
Okay.
when I fell in love with the whole industry and the idea of genre movies and pop culture and John Hughes himself and his movie making. That was a game changer for me. It really was, and it just was so relatable and such awkward but yet fun years, and everybody loved it, boys and girls, right?
Yeah.
So it was
Love it.
universal.
Yeah.
And I mean, we talked about it for months after, and we would recite lines from it. And Long Duck Dong was like one of the best characters,
Yeah.
Introduced, and was so beloved. All of it was so relatable and so funny and touched on everything that we needed to touch on, and it just felt so good. That was like, yes, I've
I'm with
arrived,
you.
and this is my movie. Yeah,
I'm with you. That is my favorite John Hughes movie, and I love John Hughes. John Hughes is one of those guys, obviously, I've never met. When he passed away, it was one of those deaths that bummed me out because he
yeah,
had an impact on my life, And I
yes,
love 16 Candles. I can't tell you enough how much I love that movie. I mean, I have it memorized. I've had it memorized forever. My friends and I still quote stuff back to each other in text all the time, and it's just small time. And there's so many great ones, but that's my all-time favorite John Hughes movie.
yeah, yeah. Footloose was another one, I think. But yes, hands down, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. 16 Candles.
All right, Nicole, do you ever play the California State Lottery?
I don't. I don't find myself to be a particularly lucky person when it comes to like drawings and lotteries and raffle tickets and stuff like that. I've never won one in
Me
my
neither.
life, not even a small one. I just have never. So I don't. I don't. And I know you can't win if you don't play. I know that's a thing. Well, but my dad always played. And then what he would do is fill our Christmas cards and our Christmas stockings with scratchers.
Yeah.
So I will play during the holidays. At some point, somebody will hand me scratchers at the
Yeah.
holidays, and I love getting them. I really do. So there's that. And then recently, Patrick, I don't know if Patrick Holland listens to the podcast or not, but he is a great guy. And he dropped off at the happy hour offices some scratchers that he had not won on, and gave them to me because you can play like second shot or something.
Okay.
Like you can sign up and try to replay or something like that. So when I got those, I was like, well, why not? Maybe this is meant to be. So I did it, and I sat there and figured it out, but didn't win anything.
I've never won anything. Not even that old black and white TV when they say, "Hey, you want to play? You want to play?" And they sit there. It's a group of 10 people. You throw in $10, you might win this black and white TV when you're a kid. I never won a damn thing ever.
Me
All right,
neither.
Nicole, if you could portray an iconic Hollywood movie idol from the past, who would you choose?
Oh, wow. Well, that's interesting. My go-to would always be Grace Kelly because my mom always used to say that I reminded her of Grace Kelly, and people had said that to me growing up. And James Pergola, who was the director of photography on Baywatch, did most of her movies, and
Oh,
he would
wow.
always say that to me too. He would say, "Gosh, you remind me of Grace Kelly so much." So I would say that that would be like a good fit.
Yeah.
I would have to put more thought into that. It's because I think if I were to be able to choose, I would maybe go for something a little bit more quirky and something a little bit more challenging.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm gonna put some thought into that one, Tommy, because that's just not a, you know, that's one I have to really think about.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
it's an interesting question, I think, for almost any actor.
that
Who
really
they would
is.
choose.
Yeah, that really is. And yeah, I would want to do something a little bit more meaningful, a little bit more, not that her life wasn't meaningful, it
Yeah.
absolutely was, but I mean, maybe something a little more quirky, a little bit more like outside of the box.
Yeah. That's cool. All right, last last question from Tommy. This made me laugh just looking at it. Nicole, if you went on a date with a guy who had an Audi doorknob belly button, would it be a deal breaker?
Tommy, are you suggesting that I see a man's belly button on our first date?
I want to know, is Tommy having an Audi doorknob belly button?
Yeah, Tommy, do you? And I don't make it a habit to see undressed men on our first dates. That takes a while. Um, but no, a belly button is not really gonna be a deal breaker for me. There's a lot of little stupid deal breakers I have, but I don't think a belly button would be one.
Yeah, Tommy, and Tom, I'm not saying you have an outdoor belly button like this, but here's the deal. It might be a hernia. Like you might want to go get that looked at. If you could literally hang your shirt on your belly button, you can probably have a hernia and probably need to see a doctor. There's something going on. That's
Yeah,
my
right. I
guess.
mean, how big are you talking? Like, is this a just an Audi belly
He
button or
said
is this
doorknob. He said doorknob.
oh,
I think that
doorknob?
I'm pretty
That
sure that's a hernia.
yeah, that could yes. If anybody has something that's legitimately the size of a doorknob or even a kitchen cabinet knob, I think you should get it looked at for sure. Um, and you know, yeah, that brings up a whole other topic, Tommy. Is
Yeah,
this man taking care of himself medically? I need somebody
exactly.
on top of the game.
Yeah,
So
yeah, you don't need anyone else.
this could turn around and be a deal breaker.
Tommy, appreciate the questions. Those are very good. Again, perfectlytwistedpod.com. Nicole's mailbag at the top of the screen. Get your questions in and we'll get them on the show.
Yes,
That's
give us
great.
a subscribe, a like, a follow, a comment, a rating, all those good things, and we will see you next time.